up against an experienced Scotsman, Gary Burrell. And with me here at ringside is the former IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the world, that's Glenn McCrory. Glenn, how do you see this first fight involving Devarajan?
Well, when you're making your debut, it's always difficult, but I think Devarajan, he's been around a good while, he's a good amateur, and I think he'll find the transition quite well.
Amateur to professional, though, it is a step up, isn't it? I mean, it's a whole new ball game.
It's a different sport altogether in a way. He's got more rounds to do. It's going to be difficult. He's fighting a very experienced fighter, but I think he'll do very well.
30-year-old Gary Burrell from Kirkcaldy makes his way towards the ring. Experienced fighter, as you can see by his record. Former kickboxer. Not a hard puncher, but nevertheless a capable technician, and a good test for Devarajan in his opening fight. Devarajan, as I say, from Madras, trained by Joe Ryan at the Peacock Gym in Canning Town. .22 years old, with a decent amateur record. Claims 30 wins out of 45 amateur fights.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a featherweight contest. Firstly, and introducing to you, fighting out of the blue corner and wearing the white trunks and weighing in at 9 stone and 2 pounds, is the pride of Scotland from Kirkcaldy. Would you please welcome Gary Burrell? And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner and wearing the yellow trunks and weighing in at 9 stone and 4 pounds and making his professional debut, he's from Madras in India. Would you please welcome V.Devarajan? Your timekeeper, Mr. Michael McCann, your referee, Mr. Tony Walker, and this is 4 3-minute rounds of boxing.
Well, the Master of Ceremonies will probably get a little bit closer to his name as he rises through the professional ranks. I think familiarity will give us a greater or a more ready grasp of the young man's name. Venkatasan, whose father, incidentally, is a professional bodybuilder. He's a Mr. India. Goes by the same name, and his brother is an amateur boxing champion. So comes from a sporting family. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of interest back home in India on just how well this young man can progress in the professional ranks.
Devarajan, certainly very tall, very long and rangy. He'll have a bit of advantage there, but it's a difficult debut for him, fighting a man with 27 fights under his belt.
Gary Burrell, who had no amateur experience, he's really learned his business the hard way. 10 wins in his 27 fights. Been a pro for 3.5 years. Had 13 fights last year. Devarajan, of course, in the yellow shorts. He's not a big puncher, though, as I was saying, Gary Burrell. Oh, and that's a good right hand. He caught him with one on the way down, but there was a nice right hand which caught him really unawares, and Devarajan showing straight away his punching power, and now he's going in looking for the finish, and a big overhand right.
Yep, Burrell doesn't look to be a puncher, but Devarajan certainly did with some long right hands.
Oh, that's really a good left as well, Glenn.
Yes, he gets a lot of leverage in his punches, tall and rangy and very accurate.
Well, once again, a couple of punches thrown on it as Burrell was on the way down, but that was a very, very impressive debut from Venkatasan Devarajan from India, and he really did look the business there. He teed him off with big right hands, and what a good left hook that was he threw in the final assault.
Very good. Looked as if he favoured the right hand, but then he brought that left hook in, and that was a very good start. Just beating a man with 27 fights under his belt on your debut, that was very good, and I think he'd be very happy with that. He might have wanted to get a little bit more boxing in, but a good finish, good long right hands.
Well, this is against a durable sort of fighter. Let's take a look again at some of the action from that first round. Let's just take a look again and see how it came. There's the big
long right hand right through the gap. There was only a small gap there. He had his guard up, Burrell, but he found the gap, and he keeps the pressure on so well here.
I think one or two referees will take a bit of a dim view at the punches being thrown as the fighter was on his way down, but that was an emphatic win.
Ladies and gentlemen, now 1 minute 13 seconds of round one. With Barrow in no condition to continue, your winner on his professional debut, V.Devarajan. Show your appreciation for a very game loser, Gary Burrell, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Burrell hardly knew what hit him, and here is exactly what did.
No, he didn't get a chance to get into the fight, but some good punches from Devarajan. Good right hands and left hooks there.
We'll be back after the break on Star Sports.